So this video is both a practice and a little bit of education. We're going to learn about our diaphragmatic system and our breath and how those influence either positively or negatively pain. If you've had pain, and most of us have, and especially that chronic pain like low back pain or maybe like shoulder pain, we begin to change how we hold our body. We guard, we grip, it's protective. So it's useful in some ways because it keeps that area from moving too much. However, that holding pattern can then go to the brain as information that the brain interprets as, ooh, that means we're still in danger. And so then we might have more pain. So how do we interrupt this looping? We're going to work with our breath and gain an awareness of how we breathe before we start mucking around and I'm going to do this breath practice and I'm going to do, diaphragmatic breathing. And, we want to notice what's going on in our body first. That's our foundation. I always describe this as if you go somewhere like the mall, or maybe you're in some city that has, a touristy area, and there's a map. And on that map, there might be a red dot, and it says, you are here. And that's how you figure out how to get to where you want to go. If you don't know where you are, you could go over here, you could go over there, you go over there. You could spend a lot of time wandering around, right? So this is going to help us figure out you are here, okay? So I am on a stability ball. If you have one of these, they're wonderful for breathing. If you don't worry about it. You can use a chair, okay? I'm going to sit on my ball, and whether you're on the ball or the chair, the practice is going to be the same. So no matter what I say, it doesn't change. So just let the legs go a little wide so you feel like you have this nice, stable base. And I want you to close your eyes and just start to track your inhale. Don't change it, just notice your inhale. Where does your inhale start in your body? Is it starting low in the belly? Is it up in the chest? And where does it travel to? Or does it travel at all? Is your inhale big or small? Does it feel full, or does it feel kind of narrow? Is it smooth, or does it have stops and starts? What does your inhale feel like? And where is it in your body? Now let's do the same thing with your exhale. Where does your exhale start? Where does it travel to? What's the quality? Again, is it full? Does it feel wide, narrow, smooth, rigid? Whatever words you might use to describe. And it's really a sensory experience, so it's okay, you don't have to come up with words. What does your exhale feel like? Now, you also have these little pauses where your breath rounds the corner. So after you take an inhale, notice that there's a little pause. Your breath rounds the corner to move into your exhale. What does that pause feel like? How long is it? No right or wrong answers. We're just gathering information, awareness. Same thing when your exhale rounds the corner to go back into your inhale. What does that pause feel like? Is it the same as the other one? Same length? Does it feel the same? Is it different? So we're mapping out our breath right now in the present moment. What does it say about what's going on? It's an expression of where we are. No judgment again. We're either surviving or thriving. And if we're surviving, we deserve a pat on the back. And if we're moving that into thriving, we deserve a pat on the back and high fives, right? We don't need fixing. We're not broken. We're in a pattern. And what we're going to do is change the pattern, right? That's all we need to do. Well, I shouldn't say all. I mean, there's, practice involved, right? So what if you were to let your exhale lengthen a little bit now? Let your exhale lengthen down, a little longer exhale. Does it take you in a little bit more and down a little bit more? And then from there, where does that inhale come from? And does your inhale feel a little bit bigger and easier to kind of move out? And then that exhale coming in and down. It's not just in your lungs. Can you feel it in your body like a sponge? And then can you take an inhale? And exhale. Now I'm using my hands here. I like to think of our breath not like a machine, but we're like a jellyfish. There's this expanding and condensing. And this is a very old rhythm in the body. And the nervous system listens to this and it starts to settle. And there's still those pauses, long exhale, fuller inhale. Just take one more round of breath there. And then take a pause and just notice if anything shifted for you. And it's not a competition or you're not getting a grade, so it's okay if it didn't. We just started this, right? So maybe something did, maybe something didn't. It's okay. All right. So if you had your eyes closed, sometimes that naturally happens when we do a little bit more embodied work, somatic work. I want you to open them. So I am going to share my screen and we're going to look at our diaphragms. Now we have more diaphragms than I'm going to show, but I'm going to show you two big ones. So let's see if I can figure out how to do this. It's been a while, so I'm going to share my screen. Oh my goodness, I think I'm doing it pretty well. So I'm going to come over here. Oh, there we go. I'm going to allow this. I don't even know what I'm allowing these days. Could be dangerous. I'm going to open this up. Okay, so here is the thoracic diaphragm right here, right? So let's find this on ourselves. Take us down. So you can find the bottom of your sternum. So you can, see this. You can't see me pointing. I can use this. So here's our sternum. And here's the ribs. So this, you can see this diaphragm. It's like tucked up underneath there. And it's attached to the spine, to the front of the spine. So go ahead and see if you can trace that. So the other thing that happens when we've had a lot of chronic pain, we don't want to be in our body. It's not a fun place. So we start to kind of disconnect from it, right? So we're reconnecting in either a neutral or more of a, curious way. So feel that diaphragm and it's underneath. I mean, you can see this and I'm going to give you a three-dimensional view of it, just so we know where this is on our body, okay? So I'm going to play this. I've muted it because it's not important what they're saying. I want you to see the movement. And now you just did that breath, right? So does this look familiar with what's in your body? What was happening in your body? Here's the side view. Can you see that jellyfish movement? Can you see how everything is moving, right? shoulders, your shoulder blades. So when we breathe, it allows the body to move. Like breath is a tool. Breath can sometimes do the work for us. And then I love this back view, because when you take an inhale, it actually helps to extend the spine. So if we have any compression, we're going to lengthen that out, not by stretching muscles, which we can do that too. But remember, we also want to have a conversation with our nervous system. So if we stretch muscles and our body feels like it's in danger, it's just going to tighten more. Ooh, underneath view. I didn't even know. I didn't even go this far. So this is so beautiful, right? So look at all of this movement, okay? Now that's all we need to see of that one. Now I want to show you another one. So this is your diaphragm, different version of it. And then I'm going to show you this. Here's your pelvic diaphragm. We talk about pelvic floor, but it's a diaphragm. It has that same movement quality as our thoracic. Let's look at how they move together. Remember I said it's a system. So we can see here, they add these cool little yellow things. So you can see this movement. And what I want you to know is that your bones are moving in this. Your breath is moving. That's it. That was, I'm going to take that back a minute. It was very short. So I want you to think of movement. I want you to think of breath in all of the practices that we do, rather than I'm going to hold and I'm going to do this exercise because somebody told me it was good for me. And it really could be, right? So I'm going to stop my screen share. So it's not about the exercise not being good, but that's just one component of it. We want to bring back in this fluidity, this breath in the body, because that is going to send signals of safety to your brain. So we're not just working with our muscle body, we're working with our nervous system body and our brain, which is a predictor. So we want to get it like feeling like, hey, this is okay, this is safe, okay? So let's come back to our ball or our chair. Now we have that fantastic visual, and you can know that that's inside you too. So now let's do that breath again, but see if you can feel how this moves and your pelvis moves. And that's what's nice about doing it on the ball. That ball is kind of coming up to the pelvic diaphragm, and you might get some better feedback than a chair. Also, being on a ball kind of makes us move around and create some dynamic stabilization, where a chair we kind of sit, okay? So let's go ahead. So I want you to take that inhale, and can we take it nice and, from low? Can we feel how this diaphragm is moving downwards as you inhale, and then as you exhale, it comes back up. And it's doing that so that your lungs can fill. And release. Now what's happening with the diaphragm? It's going, as you inhale, it's expanding out, and then as you exhale, it's releasing. Inhale, it's expanding out, and as you exhale, it's releasing. So my hands are doing it. And now, could we notice how the spine is elongating? All the way down through the lower back, right in between those pelvic bones to the tippy of your tail. So we're creating space. Notice if you're staying up here in the breaths. You can drop that down. Remember, it's a pattern. So, it can be changed, but if it's been there a while, it might not happen today. That's okay. Awareness. Let's do a couple more breaths. Can you feel the ribs expanding out? So there's this beautiful three-dimensional breath, like forward and back. Sides. If it's helpful, use your arms. Why not? Up and down. All this beautiful three-dimensionality. If you get lightheaded doing this, slow it down. If we haven't been breathing optimally and we do get into breaths like this, it can be a lot coming into the body, so we might get dizzy or feel like it's too much. So just bring it down. Just bring it down. Just bring it down. All right, one more round. Just a nice inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Just notice how you feel. Take a moment. Let this register. Sometimes we're just always, we're in a hurry and we think that even in our healing, it's something we have to do and accomplish so I can get on with things. But I'm a firm believer that the magic sauce of healing is taking those little rest periods to allow this information to move into the body, right? I like to say marinate in there. Beautiful. All right. That is our little practice and some education around our diaphragms and our breathing and how it can impact positively or negatively pain. Thanks for joining me.